Good morning, friends. I'm going to read a story today. It's called The Perfect Nest. This is a very fun story about a cat who's just looking for some breakfast, and we'll see what happens. This is by Catherine Friend. The Perfect Nest. You see barn here. It says nest. Look, there's a nest right inside. The perfect nest. Jack the cat gathered together everything he needed, and then he built the perfect nest. Dry and cozy and just the right size. But the nest was not for Jack. With this perfect nest, he would attract a perfect chicken who would lay a perfect egg, which would make a perfect omelet for a cat like Jack. Soon enough, a chicken came along. Look at this beautiful place. Look at her face. "Oh, ay caramba!" she cried. "A perfect nest!" And she hopped up and laid a small egg. And then a duck waddled by. "Sacre bleu!" she cried. "The perfect nest!" The duck pushed the chicken out, hopped up, and laid a medium-sized egg. And then a goose lumbered by. "Great balls of fire!" she cried. "A perfect nest!" The goose pushed the duck out and laid a large egg. Look at what do we have in our nest? Oh, Jack's mouth began to water. 3 eggs would make 3 omelets. But then the duck leaped onto the goose's back. "This is my nest." The chicken flew up onto the duck. "No, this is my nest." And the 3 cackled and quacked and honked, but each refused to leave the perfect nest. They squished each other for days. Each day, Jack tried to get the birds off the eggs. "Fire! Fire!" he cried, and they didn't move. "Flood! Flood!" he cried, but they didn't move. "Wolf! Wolf!" he cried, but the chicken, the duck, and the goose would not move. Finally, Jack stood before them. "You birds are so silly. The next farm over has an even better nest, and it's empty. Why doesn't one of you use that nest?" "An empty nest!" cried the chicken, "without a goose to sit on my head? Ay caramba!" "Sacre bleu!" cried the duck. "I am tired of smelling like the chicken. That nest is mine." "Great balls of fire!" cried the goose. "Out of my way!" And they all flapped away. They're going to go find a new nest. Was that a good trick? Was Jack just making that up? Alone at last, Jack returned to the nest and peeked inside. He arranged the eggs neatly in a row. Small for breakfast, medium for lunch, and large for dinner. Jack's stomach rumbled. But then... crack! The small egg broke open and out popped a wet baby chick, who looked up at Jack and said, "Hey caramba! Hola, mama!" Crackety snap! The medium-sized egg broke open and out scrambled a wet baby duck, who looked up at Jack and said, "Sacre bleu! Bonjour, maman!" Crackety, crackety, boom! The largest egg broke open and out stepped a wet baby goose, who looked up at Jack and said, "Great balls of fire, Ma! Howdy!" Jack stared at the babies. What was he to do? He couldn't make omelets out of them. "Dry me, dry me, dry me!" cried the soggy baby chick. "Feed me, feed me, feed me!" cried the hungry baby duck. "Play, play, play!" cried the excited baby goose. Oh, what is our cat gonna do? He just wanted some breakfast. Now he's got 3 little babies looking at him. Jack hid in the barn. The 3 babies found him. He hid in the woods. The 3 babies found him. Jack hid under the tractor. The 3 babies found him and dragged him back to the nest. Sleep, 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 the tiny babies whispered. Cold, 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 said the shivering babies. Jack scratched his head. Someone had to care for these babies, but there was no one else around. Jack lifted all 3 babies into the nest. Buenas noches, mama, said the baby chick. Bon nuit, mama, said the baby duck. Sweet dreams, ma, said the baby goose. And then Jack climbed into the nest and the babies fell asleep. That's when he realized this really was the perfect nest. They look very cozy up there, don't they? So we finished our story, and we have Jack, who is happy as can be. Do you suppose he's okay with not having his eggs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? And he can take care of these 3 little sweet, the little baby chick, and the little duck, and the goose, till I'm sure their mamas are going to come back from the other farm and realize there was no nest over there. And then they'll take over, just like mamas want to do. They want to take care of their little ones. So Jack had something in mind, and it completely changed as the story went on. Does that ever happen to you? When you think you might be doing something and then all of a sudden your plans change? I hope you can be adaptable. We have to do that a lot. And things turn out differently, but just as good, or for Jack, maybe even better. So I hope you liked this story, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.